good.
Thanks. Well, welcome. Sam, are you there?
I sure am.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very, very well. It's been a long overdue dev stream with the team, so I'm excited about this and to show off what we've been working on and where we're going. You want to do a little quick introduction of everybody who's on the call?
Yeah, so we have the crew back together. If you've seen our streams before, we have Dave, Craig, and Bobby here today. Yeah, but like Dave was saying, we're gonna go over all the stuff that's been happening the last couple months because it has been a lot. There's a lot to show off.
There is a lot.
And then we're going to kind of talk about the road ahead.
Yeah, I'll jump in from there. So we have Bobby driving today, like we did last time, and Craig's going to join him. So first off, we'll probably talk about the main menu. Actually, it's gotten a complete overhaul. It was really heavily taxing. Frames were terrible just in our lobby. Frames were better in the game as of recent than the lobby. So we just cleaned this up over the last couple days and found some settings that needed to be tweaked. So this should stop people's OBS when they are streaming from skipping frames and crashing out. So we've cleaned this area up and also cleaned up the single player player selection area. So it should feel a lot smoother firing up the game and getting into the game itself. So we'll start with what's new, and that's the multiplayer side of things. It's a complete revamp if you haven't tried it yet, the latest demo. So Bobby's going to go and host, and he's going to do a new game. And just a quick little thing before he starts this is that all your past save games will not work in multiplayer with this new system. So you have to start so if you have any saved multiplayer, just delete them. You have to use this new system or else they will not work. So that's a little caveat there. So Bobby's server name is selected, and then he can do public or private. Little bug going on with the public or private, so we're gonna work on that ASAP. And then Bobby can select a character here in the multiplayer selection. And then he has now created a lobby. So from here, he can invite friends. So he's going to go ahead and invite Craig there out of his Steam list. All of his Steam friends. Invite sent out, so Craig should get that. And then Craig's going to get the same thing on his end, where he'll be able to select a character and join in the lobby that Bob's created. There we go. So that was simple, much cleaner, way better setup. So kudos to Craig for a lot of hard work. This was one of the big things that took a lot of time to get this latest demo out, on top of some of the optimization stuff that we'll talk about as we go through the game.
It hurt my head.
It did hurt your head.
Hey, and I'm in.
He's in now.
This is my favorite part.
Yeah, the load-in now is way faster, and the reason for is we were using World Partition, which is a UE5 system for open world games, but we were loading the entire world because we've been having an issue for the past many years. I don't want to say how many years because it's absurd. And we are now using their level streaming system that's built into World Partition. So what that means is a small portion of the world that is real, and I kind of do like finger quotes for that, meaning that a small portion of the world, and if you do the tutorial, Bobby, that would be great, just to go through the new tutorial, and I'll catch up on that, is around the player is real. Everything at a certain distance beyond the player's radius is not real, meaning that it looks real, but it doesn't have any sort of collision, it's not interactable. It's a lot less taxing on triangles as far as creating the trees and the meshes and the distance and stuff. So this is the first pass of it. We still have a lot more to do, so the game will get more and more optimized over the next few months. But this was a big deal to get this set up. So we are going to jump right into the tutorial. So, Craig, are you going to come join us? Or you're just going to have a smoke on the dock?
I'm watching I want to watch the plane. I'm watching between Bobby's feet because I'm just testing. So I just want to see what plane Bobby gets. It should be the same because it's done off the server.
Oh yeah. So Bobby, when the plane goes by, if you can just see what you see and see if Craig sees the same thing, we're just making sure it's being.
So I'm watching. Because I'm watching the feedback. I'm watching the.
Oh, okay, you are. Okay, good.
And so I've got my screen.
Oh, I hear it.
I hear it.
Oh, across the water.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice. That's what I saw. So we saw the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The water's gone a little awry here in this build, so we're going to fix this after this stream. The color went sideways on some updates we did with some C++ code, so we'll fix that, and the version you guys are watching right now will be out this afternoon, if not early in the morning.
We gotta fix the water. I gotta do another build. So yeah.
Yes. So probably later this afternoon, Pacific Standard Time. It's 1 o'clock here on the West Coast.
I got my hot tub time scheduled too. So delay on that.
So let's get back into tutorial stuff. So one thing that's changed in the tutorial that you'll see at the very bottom left is we've actually have a little tips and tricks that are happening. So you'll see there, control mouse click to do quick loot. Those will cycle through until you finish the tutorial. And if you don't want to finish the tutorial, we have included, if you can show this really quick without actually doing it, as soon as you go in your inventory, you can actually see there's a little X next to something went wrong there in the rest of the tutorial. If he clicks that, that'll cancel out the entire tutorial, so you don't need to sit through it anymore if you've played before or if you just don't want the tutorial anymore. So we made it a little option that it didn't stay on forever until you completed it. So That's really good. Another quality of life thing that we've done after talking to Epic, and we can get into the Epic conversation in a bit. But one of them was the amount of loose loot that we had throughout the world. We still do have some, but we have put a lot back into different loot boxes, whether they're tubs or boxes or cardboard boxes, containers, all that kind of stuff. So that's helping optimize and get the frames up, because at the end of the day, we really want as many people to be able to play this game on the past sort of generation of cards. So instead of having to be a 40 series, we want to get it down to the 30s. The mid 30s is kind of our goal right now. There's a lot of technology that is super helpful there. So these guys.
So I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Did that backpack get moved higher up?
It did.
Hi. I was gonna say, you made it harder for me to hit it.
Yes, a lot of people were just running, gunning. I'm like, okay, this is way too easy now.
Yeah.
So I did move it up a little bit. There's a backpack over here for you, Craig.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, that got.
I got so good. I was a running gunner. I was like, I got this down pat. And then I went to do it, and my rock just flew past it. I was like, oh.
Too funny, yeah. Yeah, and there's some little funny bugs where the rocks get stuck up there sometimes, which is funny. So,
yeah.
But yeah, all in all, super happy with that. So one thing we can talk about that we've turned on in the latest demo that we weren't able to turn on in past versions of Unreal Engine is the use hardware ray tracing for lumens when available, and that's regarding all of the lighting. And we got that in the latest demo, and then we did a quick patch because the global illumination, or the bounce of the light of sunlight bouncing back up onto trees was not happening. So that first sort of recent patch, you would have found the forest super dark, but now the lighting coming through is absolutely gorgeous through the trees, and we're finding a lot better performance now that we're relying exclusively on the GPU to handle all of the lighting instead of software, which it was doing before on previous versions of the demo. So super happy with that. We're just going to skip by this lake atrocity that we're going to fix later, and move through. So what are you guys building right now? You're getting your 5 sticks from the ground. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And to build a
little bit more, because I know there's more coming up.
Mm-hmm. So that was one of the big things, was turning on the hardware ray tracing. The next thing that we did, we talked about the loot. Some more of the loot is now in containers, except for loot that we want, like the hatchet up here that Bobby's staring at. Having things like that loose in the world, because they kind of tell a story that someone previously was here and left a hatchet in the woods. So that's we're trying to keep that, along with some of the lore, like the notes and things like that. So that's super helpful. And then we talked about a bit about the HLODs for distant objects like trees and buildings, which we're just done trees right now in this version. So buildings will be next. Right now, all the buildings you're seeing in the distance are the true versions of them, which are super taxing, and we will get those converted over to those HLODs as well, because they don't need to have collision when they're that far away, and they don't need to be have as many triangles and so forth. So that is super helpful. One thing that I think a lot of people don't know in the latest build is what Bobby just did there. He needed cloth, and he was able to take his shirt and shred it. So you can do that with pretty much, I think, everything that's cloth, Bobby. Is that true?
Yeah,
you can shred
every piece of clothing. You're able to.
Awesome. So yeah, if you're desperate to find cloth and you can't find any, that's a quick fix, is to right click on it, just like you would with the learn option. To unlock things, you would have the ability to shred any piece of clothing to get that cloth. And also another thing that I forgot about that Bobby did is that if you have enough cloth, you can actually craft rope. So if you need a rope, so there's a great little tag tree there to work your way up to what you need if it's really hard to find. So that's super helpful.
Craig, did you grab a bottle of water?
I did.
Can I borrow it?
Bobby forgot.
We take turns.
There you go. You got it?
You. Yeah, I got it. Another thing we did is we added some starting fuel to the campfire.
Oh, is that in?
I believe so. I didn't add any sticks to this, right?
Awesome. Yeah. I think it was. I was watching a stream. It might have been Sergeant Calvin, and he's like, "It takes wood and rocks to make the campfire, but there's no wood in the campfire." I was like, point taken. So there is starting fuel at the beginning, and then you'll just have to find more fuel. So it's that, or we change the recipe to just be a bunch of rocks. So
Hey,
you got a badge. Nice work.
We do have a couple questions in chat.
Yeah.
You have a second.
Of course.
One, in the future, will there be crafting animations?
Depends. I mean, there's right now. I don't know if we have. I think if you go up to, is there crafting animations when we go up to a workbench, or is it just no? It's just building the workbench we have. So we do have animations for actually putting stuff down, but actually crafting the particular item. Maybe we have so many things we want to do that it's on the list, but it's not at the top of the list. If that makes any sense. Don't drink that, Craig. You need to boil it.
Yeah. So you can finish your quest.
I love it. You guys are almost happy.
Oh, I'm not doing the tutorial.
You can still need to make the water.
And you can just clean it up.
Still
You
need
can
to clean the water.
anyways, then.
I'm still. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm not doing the tutorial. That was almost like he was like offended.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry.
did that come out wrong?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I think it came out right, but just
Yeah.
on it.
Come on, pro game dev here. Come on.
Someone also said being able to shred your clothes is dangerous, and immediately I saw Craig with no pants.
Yeah.
So...
I warned you. I warned you all.
There was some warning.
Well, we noticed that there were two issues that were happening. One was people weren't finding cloth as easily as we hoped. And two was that when you find progressively better clothing or just different clothing that you want to wear, there's not a real use for the old stuff. And so allowing people to shred it is kind of a win-win because you don't need to discard anything you've looted before. And if you can't find cloth in the beginning, in summer, you can just tear your shirt or your...
I'm happy.
There is more...
yeah.
And there's more summer clothing in summer to be found as well. So there's different color shirts. There's going to be, that's one thing that now that we've gotten over this huge hurdle in optimization, there's still a lot to be done. Don't get me wrong. It's not where we want it to be yet, but it's in a great step, and we're moving in that direction now. But we have a lot more clothing that we want to put back in, and as much as Craig and Bobby are half naked right now. At nighttime, it's going to get a little chilly, so they're going to want to find some clothes and get that back on. I think the great thing about your shredding your shirt over your pants is your pants have pockets and your shirt doesn't. So it's a loss when you lose your pants, Craig, because you lose storage. Yeah. But that being said, you do have the big backpack. Oh, yep. Go ahead.
Yes. Someone also says, "Will there ever be seasons?"
Well, that's the I was gonna say that's what this game is all about. So if you're not familiar with the sort of back lore and the sort of the overall encompassing idea of the Gold River Project is that you are in an experiment. You've been dropped off, and no one's coming back to pick you up. And what you learn through exploring is that you're surrounded by this giant wall. And I'll just keep it high level. I won't get into all the nooks and crannies, so we want people to figure stuff out. But you figure out a way to bring the wall down. But in doing so, you're told, make sure you prepare before you do this, because on the other side of the wall is more world, but there's also fall is on the other side of the world. So if these guys get a chance to find the wall today and walk up to it and look on the other side, you'll actually see that all the leaves are in fall. It's a total different look on the other side. So as soon as you bring that wall down, that season moves into summer. So not only does it kind of do the reverse of like a PUBG where the map gets smaller, this is actually the map gets bigger. So you're in a small little area called summer. Wall comes down. Summer turns into fall, and then it expands, and you can carry on to more of the world. And with that, what we're working on as well is that there's going to be places in summer that you can't quite reach, whether it be something that's up high or a crevasse or a valley or an area that you can't make it across. And with the storm coming in, we want to do things where trees will get knocked over and make a clearing where you're able to get somewhere. A bush will lose its leaves and you'll find something inside of that bush. Reservoirs or small water areas like a quarry, the water will fill up and now you are able to swim over to an area that you couldn't get before. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that. Bobby can probably elaborate a bit more on that as well.
Yeah, I think that all of us have played a lot of different survival games, and I'm guessing a lot of people watching this have as well. And we just found that oftentimes the season changing was simply used as like a difficulty meter where it just becomes harder to survive, but there aren't a lot of new opportunities necessarily. And so we really wanted to kind of lean on like the pros and the cons, obviously, of, surviving in the wilderness in different periods. And yeah, exactly that. There's going to be new changes to the environment that present opportunities, but there's also going to be changes to the environment that take away certain opportunities too. So there's certain caves that might get blocked by certain debris that happens in the storm, and there's other things that are unlocked by it. So I think it'll create a cool sort of dynamic experience where people can go back to areas that they explored before. But not only will it feel different and look different, they'll also be able to reach areas they couldn't, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I think this leans on our sort of core principle as a studio that we really want to make the world and the experience every time you play it something different. And that was obviously when we talk about things like the substations and notes in the game and maybe finding a key. All that moves every time you play a new game, so it's a different experience each time, which is a lot of fun. And having that function where perhaps you see a cave and you're like, oh, I'll come back later, and you switch over to fall. Now that cave could have been caved in and you can't get in there anymore, or a certain area that you've been to. You're like, oh, I bet you I can get up there once I go to fall and then come back to summer. And there's a reason to come back to summer. It's not, no one really likes backtracking in any game. It's sort of,
Bobby, come to me. I dropped you. I gave you a flashlight. I found a flashlight so you can show people.
The no pants, but yes, a bucket hat is,
hell
is
yeah.
very Craig.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's my Halloween costume.
I feel
right
like you
here.
just came back from the Reading Festival or something, and you saw your favorite Manchester band.
Yeah. This is the best.
How was
happy.
Oasis? Was it great?
So good, bro.
Did you lose your pants at Oasis?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I think I'm very excited because with the environment changing, but also with the dynamic things that we have on each playthrough, I think it's gonna be super fun to see people make sort of lists of like what you have to do in summer before the seasons change and what you have to do in fall and winter in that same area once the wall comes down. I'm very excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah. And then just to elaborate on that, once you've completed fall, on the other side, there's another wall. And this is your final wall before you figure out how you escape this experiment. And when you bring that, on the other side of that wall is winter. So when you bring that wall down, everything in fall that you knew of and everything in summer that was fall is all of it. The entire map now is winter. And there, once again, water freezes over. Things become more scarce as you go from summer, which is really, we almost were throwing around a funny term of we're calling this a chill horror game, or a
cozy camping horror.
Cozy camping horror. There we go. That was the title. Because summer, you're more than welcome to stay in summer as long as you want. There's no rush to do anything. You can just live off the land and explore and have a great time. But once you're ready and you have the appropriate clothing, you can bring down the wall, and that ramps up everything. It ramps up AI on the different types of animals. It ramps up different types of other types of AI that I don't want to touch on yet. And then yeah, it's wetter. It's more uncomfortable. Like things are harder to find. It's harder to grow. Different things grow now when you're doing farming. So a lot shifts. And then the same thing with winter is now things that you could swim on or where you could collect water is now gone. That's frozen over. So you're kind of preparing for each season as you move along, and that will get into things like setting up camps and working on what we want to do down the road as far as building different structures and more storage containers, and really prepping yourself for these seasons where food's going to get a lot more scarce, and so is water, and finding the appropriate clothing so you're going to be warm enough. So super excited for all of that coming down the road. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, we have a couple more. We have a chatty chat today.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, me too. So someone asked, are there different modes like creative versus story? What about different difficulties, like the easy, like the standard, easy, normal, hard?
It's a great question. I know we've been tossing around those ideas, but kind of to elaborate what I said with the story mode, the story is there for you to discover. There is lore, and there is things that sort of progress you through it. And we're trying to do it in a way that's very sort of immersive, that it's not thrown at you. The tutorial is very in your face for obvious reasons. We need people to learn what all the functions do, and so they can survive, and so they're not frustrated. And then after that, you're kind of just let loose. So it's really up to you how you want to play the game. There is no forced way that you need to play. So if you wanted to just do a chill, cozy, relaxing game, you could do that. Now, that being said, there is still cougars, there's still wolves. So you still want to be, cautious of that. But yeah, as far as doing different modes, we haven't set anything up yet. Not saying that we couldn't, but and the only thing I would think of is probably taking away the AI, so that way then you could really just not worry about anything. So you could just fish and you could farm, and the deer would still be in there. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that's something that we couldn't do. It's just there's so many with a small team that you kind of you gotta have to be really choosy on what you focus on and where you need to be, and watch the scope creep take hold and really stay focused, because we got to get this out for early access for people to start playing, and for us to continue on optimizing and expanding.
And then we have another one that says, can we have a mode where your friends spawn at different areas in the map and you work together to meet up?
We had that originally. And then we found that people were having a hard time, because this is before we actually had the indicator. So we have the little dot when your friend joins you. So if you look around, can you find Craig? There we go, with a distance. So there's Craig there, so you can find your buddy pretty easy. But before we had that, we did actually have everyone got dropped off in different locations and tried to meet up, and I think it was sort of more of a frustration than it was fun. But that being said, when you do die, you do random spawn if you don't have a bed, and then you kind of have to find each other, but then you also have the dot. So it was one thing we talked about for a while, was making the indicator where your buddy is at a certain distance, and then after that distance, it didn't show up. So and then you could always do the unstuck button too. I mean, as a little
if you get stuck somewhere, the unstuck
because
button.
that we randomize you out to a different location as well. Yeah.
But I get what they're going for. They're going for more of like, so everyone has a different experience, and like, oh, I found this, and oh, I found a watchtower, or I found this building, or so on and so forth. So it
wouldn't be too bad. It would just be a different mode, right? So instead of sending you to the wharf, we would randomize.
I think also with the markers, it becomes really easy to find each other. So if people do want to split off and do their own exploration, like, they're free to do that. But I think that spawning together, the nice thing about that too is, especially on your first couple playthroughs, there's so much to figure out and learn that we notice that a lot of people that are playing it in groups on streams and stuff, one person will figure out something. Actually, typically one person figures out everything and then teaches the rest of the class. And so that's something that's kind of valuable too, if you can like guide people over and say, hey, like, come over here, this is how you do this thing. But it's definitely possible.
We've seen a lot of camp moms, which I love.
Yeah.
A lot of a lot of people sort of taking the role of like, okay, I'm going to teach the rest of my friends how to play, and also I'm going to feed them and give them water, so because they're just going to die. They're not paying attention, or yeah. So it's which I find in a lot of games. I remember when I first played DayZ, the mod, I had no idea what I was doing, and having a friend explain helps a lot. So that's always it's the great thing with a multiplayer game. It's those sharing those things and those experiences, which was one of the main reasons why we wanted to do multiplayer, because adventure games like this is so much more fun if you can share it with a friend, and experience
Yeah.
those things together, and help each other too. It's like it's
Yeah,
it's
and
a lot easier to survive with friends.
it does kind of dovetail nicely into the other question about difficulties too, because that is something we spoke about. Not only, like you said, like the potential to do a peaceful where we remove some AI and predators, but
Hmm.
a more hardcore mode where we remove markers from the fire and from other players. Potentially also
That's a
remove
great idea. Yeah.
food that spawns in places, and you kind of have to grow everything and salvage everything yourself. But that's something that, like you said, we have to be wary of scope creep and
Yeah, it's
make sure
definitely
that,
something we could do.
yeah,
It's interesting as a team has grown and gotten, we just all just become so much better at the engine and understanding what we want. There's nothing we can't do. I can really honestly say that now. I really feel that with the skill set that we all bring to the table. I don't feel like there's nothing we can't do. It's just a matter of time now. So it's more so of like, with a small team, we have very limited time. So it's like, what can we do with the time that we have to get what we want to get out? And then what can kind of be put on the not right now list and come back to it. So we're always going to be looking and reading the Discord. And there's so much great feedback from all of you playing the game
Yeah.
and testing the demo. And then we're like, a lot of stuff that we just didn't know about. So it's super valuable. It's super valuable in that
Yeah.
way.
We have another really good question. We have a question about multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, first, the first part of the question is, what about expected release? Sorry, I joined late. And then, when a host pauses the game, will it always pause for everyone? Nothing more frustrating than trying to swim or craft and then boom, you're paused.
I think that's
We
been
actually-
removed, right?
Yeah, we turned off the
Yeah.
pause.
Yeah, that's been
It was-
removed.
it was-
So ideally, I think we'd like to put it in and then put a check on it that will say, oh, is this a single player game? Then when you hit escape, it pauses, but that will be removed in a multiplayer game. So we had it in there and we tested in single player and did not test in multiplayer until we watched people stream and we're like, uh-oh. Exactly that. People would be in mid fight with a cougar or swimming or whatever and be like, and everyone's like, the game just froze, the game broke, and it's like, and then they would hit the button again, and it kind of remind me of the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, where he unplugs the lights and the lights get plugged in again and he can't figure out why the lights are not working. So it was very much that, where people were like, what just happened? So yeah, that's been removed. So we're good on that right now, and we'll circle back on the pause for single player and not have it there for multiplayer. So that'll be good.
Yeah. Are there more items being added to the game, or is that part done for the moment?
Oh, there's always items being added. One of them that I just spoke about is clothing. We really want to have a good collection of clothing, not only for summer but fall and winter. Obviously, the basics are in right now, but we want to have all different types of outfits you can find with different warmth factors and different pocket sizes and all that kind of stuff, so people can customize their character even more. And there's still plenty of more items. As if you've played before and you found the electronic crafting bench, there's a lot more stuff we want to expand on that in building different devices. And I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get too deep in the trees on that one. But there is more things we want to do on the electronic crafting, on the regular crafting. Everything we want to expand out on. We just kind of have everything in just to see how it feels. One of the things is obviously kayaks will be coming soon, and with that, we're expanding everything in the water world. So that will be things like different types of fish, different fishing experiences depending on what your expertise is at fishing. So having fish more ready available at dusk and dawn. When it's a better time to fish, so that kind of thing changing up, and yeah, lots more items. It's just sort of we're really got the sort of core stuff in right now, and some stuff we found didn't work, so we pulled it. Some stuff has been moved into loot boxes just for optimization purposes. But yeah, definitely there's plenty more to come. So it's not just what you're finding right now.
I am also I think out of everyone on the team, I'm definitely one of the biggest into crafting and salvaging stuff. And I think that that's something that I'm very excited about. Nothing makes me happier than a good sort of crafting loop where different activities that you do, whether it's hunting, fishing, crafting, or just exploring, always kind of yield different results that you can use for each other. So if you're catching something fishing, then you can use parts of that to do something that may help you with hunting or crafting, and there's sort of that really satisfying loop where nothing goes to waste. You can always kind of salvage stuff from different parts of the game, which is really exciting.
How did you not die?
Very delicate. Every day when I play this game, I'm on the edge. I'm always dancing on the edge.
Hopefully,
I don't think I've played this game in color for very long. I'm almost always in black and white.
I'm at the top, hiding in the tree.
Hiding.
I think that I have a Sin City mod of this game because I'm always in black and white when I play.
I have a question that might get Craig excited.
Yeah.
You know that bulldozer, will there be an update where I can drive it?
Oh. I don't know about the bulldozer per se.
I think what we can say is in the outfitters where you start the game, pretty much everything in there will be in the final game. So we'll pay attention. So pay attention to everything in there, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, because that's our sort of wow. The color's back in. This looks gorgeous.
See, look, the game provides.
Yeah,
wait, is this a different game?
I know, right?
Yeah, pay attention into the lodge there at the beginning and look around there. That will leave it at that. And there's
not everything is in there, but there's a good 85% of the stuff that's in that lodge is going to be in the final game. There's a few things that are missing.
Well, I've lost Bobby. I don't know where the hell he's in. Some mine somewhere.
He's just having a good old time.
All right, that's cool.
If only I was currently and previously live streaming my location.
I know, right?
If only
super handy right now.
If only you're like, let's stick together, and the next thing I know, you're almost dead, and I'm like, all right.
Okay, head to his direction now. He's coming out by the river. So follow the dot.
Let's see.
Craig needs one of those child leashes.
Oh,
that would be nice.
He needs that in real life too. I'd lose him in a heartbeat at Disney.
Okay. Oh! I see Bobby's dot. Okay.
There we go.
Let's
How
go.
the hell? Oh, I had you, then I lost you. I gotta get closer. Oh, there we go. There we go. Stop moving.
Any other questions, Sam?
This one is less a question and more just an idea someone threw out. I know everyone will use Discord, but it would be cool if you could find walkie-talkies and use those in the game.
Yeah, that's
funny.
That's something that's on the list that we definitely want to do.
That's also on the list.
Yeah. Because we know everybody doesn't want to use Discord, and I think it would be a much more a better experience if everyone was find radios and use radios and talk like in proximity as well. So we have all of that.
So immersive.
Once again, we have all of those abilities, but small teams. So we're like, okay, what are the big things that we need to take care of? And obviously, everybody who's played the demo knows optimization is huge. So
number one.
Yeah, and just to kind of stoke the flames of that excitement, I think that the first iteration of something like that might look like an in-game voice that when you're at a certain distance becomes like a walkie-talkie sound. So if we aren't able to get the physical walkie-talkie then I think a first version could look something like that. But again, our main focus at the moment is making sure that as many people can play the game as possible by optimizing it. Which another way we did that recently is through collision. So a lot of the collision is optimized, which also is a win-win because it makes it a lot easier to kind of climb the terrain, both for yourself and for the AI, which is nice.
Yeah, that was a huge win. That kind of goes back to our conversation that we had with Epic. We were very, very fortunate as we've been with Epic for a long time as we've worked in Unreal Engine 4 and 5, and we were able to get a meeting with some of the top people there. So it was really nice. And they kind of took our demo at that time and went through what they found as far as what was our big bottlenecks when it came to optimization. So one of them was what Bobby just spoke about, which is collision and making sure that we're using very simple collision. Another was getting us to use world partition in the sense of streaming levels in and out, what I talked about at the beginning of the stream, which is a small section around each player is real and the rest of it is sort of faked out stuff. And they do this in every video game, and you only need the real stuff that's at proximity. So if you're chopping a tree, or if you're interacting with a rock on the ground, or an AI, or even your buddy, and then after a certain distance, that turns into a less triangle version of that particular mesh, or no collision, and this is just the first pass of it. We're going to do more and more, not only on the foliage, but also the buildings in the distance. So you'll find when we do put out those in the change list that it will be much better experience. And then we're really excited down the road, and this is probably into the new year. I would say probably first quarter or second quarter of new year, getting to Unreal Engine 5.7.1, because there's a lot of updates there for foliage, which is, our game is 85% foliage, and it's been a big problem for Unreal Engine 5 games. So we're super happy to when we get a chance to move up to that engine when it's out of preview mode right now. Right now it's not ready for production, so that'll be something in the new year that will be we'll move into fingers crossed. And I think that'll be a huge boost, because there's a lot of stuff for things like nanite in the way that LODs are taken care of in Unreal Engine 5, and then on the lighting side of things with lumens, whether it's the directional light, meaning the sunlight, or the lights that you find inside of substations or at nighttime around certain facilities that are powered by either generators or by the power plant. All of that will be less taxing and should be a lot better. So we're excited for all these new things that are coming down the pipeline with new versions of the Unreal Engine. So they know that they have work to do, and they're working right now to get these games working better and better for us. So we're pretty excited about that.
Perfect. I know we have about 15 more minutes, so I was thinking we have a couple more questions in chat that we can briefly go over, kind of what you talked and worked with Epic on. And then I know you said you might have a little sneak peek.
Yeah, we'll do a quick
of
little
something to share.
Yeah, really, these are just very early images of fall. A handful of locations. So a quick little slideshow of that, and then we'll end it there, just to give you guys a little sneak peek of what's coming in fall. So super excited about that.
So the first question we have in chat is, what is the estimated game time from start to completion for a single go through if you focus on the story and only the story?
That is a loaded question, because that's like a Grand Theft Auto question. Is like, how long could you finish Grand Theft Auto without being distracted by all the side missions? I think we clocked it in at over 20 plus hours. Craig, was that right? Was it, if not more?
If not more.
If not more, like, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. You won't be disappointed if you're into, I want to make sure this is a good long game. Yeah.
Someone asked, can we invert the y-axis yet? And did you fix the exploding chairs?
Oh, invert Y will be coming in the next patch.
Yeah, we'll be putting a patch out. What we did is we took away the controls where people were remapping controls because we hadn't touched it and it was breaking their game, and we actually had to go in and help them individually redo their config files in Windows. So we got rid of controls without thinking that's where the invert and the mouse sensitivity is. So we will bring that back, and fingers crossed people don't screw around too much with the key bindings until we get that sorted. But yes, that'll be in a patch probably later today. We got to fix, as you saw, the water was all screwy in the game right now because we worked on some C++ code, so that's going to be fixed, and we'll get the controls back in. So that'll be in this afternoon. The exploding chairs too. I think that was fixed. I think that was a issue with the XYZ location when getting up and down. I think Bobby fixed that. But if it does happen again, please let us know in the Discord.
And then one more. It says probably too early, but can you speak on the post-release plans?
Post-release, so after it's released.
Yeah.
After early access,
After early access.
Yeah.
So
yes.
We haven't gotten. I'm going to stay really high level because things can obviously change with a small team. So we definitely want to do once release, continue obviously working on the game, but we want to do packs or updates or chapters, however you want to call it. We haven't really figured out the name we want to use, and they'll be theme based. So kind of like what I spoke about, like we want to do a water theme based. So not only will it be a update to the early access, and this is all free. This is once you've paid for the game. This is not an additional cost. This is an update, and it'll be a theme based update, which will have bug fixes. But it'll also introduce new things. So if it's a water feature, it'll be like boats. It'll be fishing traps, different types of fish. Anything else to do with sort of water that we want to deal with.
Water transportation.
Yes. So all that kind of things. Another one we want to do on is like a hunting one. So introducing new animals, new weapons, so on and so forth. You kind of see the idea here. So we want to do that in sort of every few months, put these things out. And this is obviously, once again, high level, but that's the idea. And then we'll want to get into more crafting and building. So that'll be another one as well. So there's a lot of stuff.
There's so much content that we want and that people playing want. And I think that we've all had updates come out for different games in the past where you kind of can't keep track of what's being added because there isn't a cohesive theme, and there's other games that have done it exactly the way we plan to do it, which is releasing themed drops where a bunch of new content and fixes gets put into the game with a cohesive kind of theme that makes it a lot easier to kind of track what's happening, but also from our point of view too, it's really exciting to do like a theme and really dive in deep to different areas of the game that we're like dying to expand.
100%. So that's post launch that we'll be doing that, and not only fixing bugs, adding these themes, and there'll be updates to areas too, like because we're small, there'll be new things, whether it's clothing that could also go with the whole water theme, and other themes, new items. It's endless. It's just that we need to stick, as I say again, like a broken record, we're a small team of 6, and that 6 includes Joka and Sam that are on the community and marketing side of things. So it's we all work together, and every person on the team is as important as the other, because we couldn't do this without the other. Like there's so much stuff to be done when you're a small team. Speaking with the community, answering every YouTube question, taking care of every TikTok question, figuring out ways to fix the chair shooting you off into space. Like everybody has, and bringing us these beautiful new worlds that I'll share with you really quickly here in fall. Let's go through a quick little slideshow. But if you haven't been to any of these buildings, some of these you've made it through if you brought the wall down, and this is the this is the power plant, just on the other side of the wall. And this is fed from the dam that's above that some of you have seen from a distance. But we'll just shoot through these really quick. I'm trying not to give away too much. I kind of had to do this just before the stream, so hopefully Steve, who's in chat, won't kill me, but they're just quick little sneak peeks. They're not locating where they're at, but just some ideas of what we've been working on. So super excited. So this is the this is the power plant, and this is a functioning power plant from the dam. So this is what's keeping the lights on at some of the locations, and you'll notice other places that have lights. You just notice that they have solar power nearby, so it's all making sense. So we'll quickly go through this. So these are all low points of interest in fall. This is a lumber camp. Get these. I'm gonna do this so I can slide through these. Let me do the next one. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. This is one of the sign for a fishing lodge that's in fall. That's really, really cool. This is an turn of the century mine that you'll find that is absolutely amazing. This is one of the many entrances, and this is kind of loosely based on a few things that happen with us playing DayZ, where they have these areas that you can go into, but they're pitch black. So there is a light in this one just on the outside, but inside, make sure you make a boatload of torches. And make sure you have
He
a flashlight.
says spoiler alert.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, exactly. So yeah, so places like this they're great to explore, but you need to be prepared. This is inside one of them. It's got some lights, some lanterns that have been lit up. This is the start of one of the one location. I'm not going to explain too much. There's another location, not going to explain too much. There's the dam I was talking about. So this is moving further up, closer to the dam. This is another location. Inside another location. And I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last of the locations. So there you go.
And then maybe real quick before we end this, just a quick update on, like, just very high level on early access timeline, since we have a little delay.
Yeah, it's tricky for a small studio. We're trying to find where we fit and what's going to be the best for us to be successful. So we really got put behind the 8 ball with the information. And now it's all good information, but we got a lot to unpack from our talk with Epic to make the game more optimized and get it so we can get it on other video cards that weren't like top of the line. And we're working our way towards that right now. And I'm sure you guys have noticed with the latest demo, if you got your settings at high or medium, that you're able to achieve some really good frames now. Now, that's just the start. We know we need to work harder and work better on that. It's just time for us. It's not anything that we can't do. We know what to do now, but it's time. So we're really doing our best to figure out what's a great spot for us to come out. As I'm sure a lot of people in here are gamers, know that Arc Raiders is coming out on the 31st. There's a stress test happening right now, and that game is phenomenal. We don't want to be anywhere near that game. I think we'll get buried in. I think this game is probably going to be, a big turning point and one of the big games that will carry on through into 2026 and beyond. They've done fantastic work. So there's things like that. There's the Call of Duties, there's the Battlefields, and there's a lot of big indie titles. So we're trying to find our spot. That is the best way I can explain it right now, is kind of where can we get the best coverage, get the word out, so not only do you guys get the early access as soon as possible, but the team can also flourish when it comes out and keep the studio open and keep going. So it's a tricky dance. So we're just working on that right now. When's a good time to come out? So yeah, I can't really give you an answer yet, but we should hopefully have some information soon. But that's part of the us trying to make a fantastic game, get everything we can in a great place where we can continue to work on it, and also find a good launch date, because there's so many factors. There's so many factors, and you want to make sure you can make the most noise when you're an indie studio going up against AAAs and other big studios that have millions and millions of dollars. So I hope that answers that a little bit.
Yeah, the tricky dance of timing and optimization, as we've been saying, making sure that we're getting something to you guys that runs well.
That's priority. That's number one.
Yeah,
like we want to get
that's number one.
Yeah, we want to get it running as best on as many PCs. So you perhaps maybe have a 40 series card, but your buddy maybe has, a 30 series. We want to make sure you guys can all play together. So it's not like, well, I can't play. It's like, that just puts a bad taste in your mouth and your friend's mouth, and you may not ever return to the game. So we want to make sure that first experience in early access is great for as many people as possible, and they really enjoy it. They get the concept and they keep playing it.
Yeah, and establishing that it is a solid early access that's very playable and enjoyable, but the chapters is something that we're so excited about, like rolling out consistent updates to patch things and fix bugs, but also consistent content updates, which is huge. And I think a lot of games come out in early access, and then either that's it or there's a long period of time before a full release. But we really do want to continue to add, which is huge for us.
Yeah, I think it's really important for us to show our community and future people that will join our community that we have a roadmap and that we have focus and we have a vision where we're going. So there's that trust going both ways, and that if you invest in us and by purchasing the game, that you feel like there's legs to it, there's longevity, and there's an end game. So that's really important for us. We don't have any other questions. We can wrap it up.
There's just a quick one. That's a little difficult to answer right now, but the price range, special editions, stuff like that. Someone asked about.
Yeah, nothing really set in concrete, but I think like if I could do ranges, and this is just U.S. pricing, but we want to be mindful of sort of pricing throughout the world. But I think we're anywhere between, I think. If I can say, I think it's between the I don't know. Can I say? I don't know if I can say, Craig.
25 to 35.
There we go. I was going to say that, but I didn't know if we settled on anything yet.
No. That's the range. We're still kind of tweaking, and I think we have to tweak based on region anyway.
Yeah.
Because what happens is Steam does a default, like you punch in your price in US dollars, and then they pre-populate all the other countries, but they don't necessarily Steam doesn't necessarily keep it up to date. So you kind of have to go region by region to see what the currency exchange rate, like, is it?
It's tricky.
Yeah, it's hard.
For example, Poland, right? I think Poland really gets hammered. So you have to go in and adjust accordingly.
Yeah. So we want to make it fair for everybody and for the studio as well. So we will definitely, once we narrow in kind of our price point, and then we'll work our way out from that number to regions.
Yeah, and something that none of the team know yet is I've been actively pursuing multiple Canadian Tire locations to try and swindle them into putting it on the shelves there, so that you can buy our game with Canadian Tire money, which I think would just be the coolest thing ever.
You'd have to be Canadian to get this joke, but yes.
But yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's just so much stuff that's like it's high level, and it's just we're in such a wild spot. Like everything's great. Like I said, I just want to reiterate, we had such a fantastic conversation with Epic. We learned a lot. We cried a lot. It was a really tough month getting this, or a few months getting this demo a patch out for you guys, because there was a lot of hair pulling. I think I'm down to one hair in my head. It was a lot now. But it was a lot, but we got there. So now that we know what to do, it's still difficult, but now we know we can move the needle, and we know that we can handle it. It's a matter of time now. That really what comes down to us. So very excited for what's coming up in the future, and it's so much fun to play ourselves too, because of the randomization, and super excited for it.
Yep.
All right, we'll wrap it up there.
Yep.
Bobby's
Thank you,
3 hours
everyone.
ahead of us. He's in Montreal, so he's got dinner to make and Frankenstein to go see. So we'll wrap that up. Thank you so much for everybody that joined us in chat. Really appreciate your
Thank you,
patience. Really appreciate
That was a good chat.
yeah, all of your support. It's been awesome. So we will get a patch out for the demo this afternoon, Pacific Standard Time for us on the West Coast. And please use our Discord. Use the and also use the bug report. Anything you guys find. And,
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Wish
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you're watching this on a recorded video, we see you. We thank you. We
Yes.
appreciate you as well.
You too, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Craig.
Thank
Everyone
you.
have a fantastic rest of your day, your evening, or your morning, wherever you are in the world. All the best. Take care, everybody.
Let's go.
Bye,
All
guys.
right.